The blues. Historically, people have played the blues in order to not feel blue. It's amazing what music can do to change a mood. They can be played in any of the 12 keys, and the chord progressions have more variations than I can even mention, but there are some very traditional ways of playing the blues. Then from there, we can vary it later on. So the chord progression will go this way for flat blues. The chords go C for 4 bars. A bar is a measure. It's not somewhere you go to get a drink. So anyway, so a bar is a measure. So we have C for 4 bars, F for 2 bars, C for 2 bars, G for 1 bar, F for 1 bar, back to C for 2 bars. That equals 12. Take a listen to Pride and Joy by Stevie Ray Vaughan, Money by the Beatles. It follows this particular chord progression of the first chord for 4 measures. The blues are like chess. I can teach you how to play them in an hour, and you can spend the rest of your life getting good at it. Learn the song, then you play the left hand here. I'll play the right hand. The 12-bar blues. Here's the progression. The left hand shows what's really happening. It's C for 4 bars. I'm not going to count this out 4, but they are whole notes. So C is 4 times, and then you go to F twice, C twice, up to G, and then F, and then C. Now I know I kind of raced through that. That's just to show you this is a typical blues progression. It's not the only one by any means. There's many, many, many variations on the blues. C 4 times, F twice, C twice, G once, F once, C twice. Memorize that. We'll put numbers to those eventually so that we can transpose, but that's a little bit more advanced than I want to get right now. Play the left hand, as I said, while I play the right hand in the beginning when I played with the accompaniment track. You can also go back then and play just the right hand and not the left hand. That's a good way to practice. Let's kind of analyze this right hand before we play it. First of all, it's in the C position. And look at the first 3 notes as a group instead of just individually. If you put them all together, what is that? That's a C chord. Yeah, so that's a broken up C chord right there. Now look at the next 3 notes together. It's G, C, and E flat this time. What is that? That's a C minor chord. So let's start to use our theory to learn these things much more quickly than we normally would. So again, from the beginning, let's start on G, ready, and. That's the C major chord. This next one is the C minor chord. Now, I have in the music stays E flat. Why is that still E flat? There's no flat in front of it. Because the flat stays there the entire measure until the bar line cancels it. So it's E flat for 3 and another E flat. That's the reason. Now, if there's any more flats, I have to put a flat in front of the note because the bar line has canceled that flat. Let's go to the next measure. That note didn't make it to the staff, so it is D. Then in the next measure, there's a half rest. Naturally, that gets 2 counts. Then there's another E flat. That's a real bluesy note. If you flat the third note up like that, that's real bluesy. If you flat the 7th note up, if you flat that one, that's real bluesy. But that's not in this song. I'm just saying that the 3rd note and the 7th note are real bluesy notes. There's another bluesy note, that's E flat, another E flat. The second line is once again D and C. Repetition is a very, very good thing in songs. It's mental glue. This next part is also mental glue. It's G, G, F. Now look at the next part. It's F, E flat. C, not C, but you see there's a G and an F. And this next pattern is the same thing. It just starts on F and goes to E flat. So then the last note, of course, is a C, and it's tied. So that C actually gets 8 counts. Then there's a repeat. So let's see. There's something else I thought I wanted to tell you. Okay, well, let's go back to the beginning and play just the right hand all by itself. 2, ready, and G, 2, 3, 4. Half rest. 1, 2, 3. G. Play another F to E flat and C. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So E to E flat is a half step. It really, really grinds. It's very dissonant, which is great because, again, music is filled with dissonance and consonants. It creates excitement. So here's more examples of half steps. You'll notice there is no note in between the half steps. They can be a black and white key, or it can be 2 white keys like this. Those are half steps. And in the blues, there's a lot of constant fight between the E flat and the E natural, or the flatted third and the natural third. So there's E naturals and E flats to create that bluesy sound. Definitely listen to Sweet Home Chicago. That song just it's kicking, man. It's really just a great song. Don't just listen just to the piano and what it does, which is amazing in the Blues Brothers version. Also listen to the saxophone solo, the trombone solo, the horns, what they do. And eventually we'll begin to try to make solos out of some things like the horn players do. It's excellent to listen very closely to other instruments besides just the piano. So that is the 12-bar blues, and man, we are on our way to thousands of awesome songs. The blues infiltrate other styles too, naturally. It's gospel, it infiltrates country, and what about the song The Rhapsody in Blue? Ha! That's a classical song that has blues elements, jazz. It combines classical and jazz. I actually wrote a paper on this back in high school, but it combines a lot of elements And that is one of the most brilliant songs ever written. The Blues.
Together you and me make perfect